Alright folks, it's again time for something very special. A game that I've been waiting for so long to be released, and this week, much to my surprise, it was. Tiny and Big and Grandpa's Leftovers. This is a game by Black Pants, who's about as indie as it gets. Because they released this game not only for Windows, but also for Mac and for the Linux operating system. They're incredible champions. This game has so much charm, so much kick-ass music, and the most innovative gameplay elements you will see this year. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to it, folks. Right now, who's talking is the radio, which is, I don't know, it's a sentient being, which is a radio, but somehow it can see also. I'm not exactly sure what its deal is. But it pals around with our protagonist here on the left, which is Tiny. Sort of a nerdlinger, of a technophile, that's what he's described as. But he's a good man. And right now we're going to be training with a video game for real life obstacles. So here we are, it's just like old Game Boy. Now, pay attention to the physics here, because Tiny falls really quick compared to a lot of other platformers. The acceleration in this game's got to be close to Earth's. Although, there's some interesting physics to do with Tiny. For instance, if he's on top of a moving object, he will not move with that object. He's like stuck in space. It's sort of weird like that. And he's also incredibly powerful, as you can see right here. There's nothing he can't push. It could be 1,000,000 metric tons. He would do it. And here's our first real gameplay element, the claw. We just use our right click, and we pull. And we almost crush ourselves. That's one of the easiest ways to get dead. It's happened to me more often than I'd like to admit. But again, he can pull just about anything, really. One thing that's different in this game, compared to the first one, which is really a beta, is you can't swing around by your claw anymore. So that's sort of a shame. In the first one, you could just go willy-nilly with that. And I did, for sure. I had so much fun with that beta. Which is one of the reasons I was happy about this. Finally get to play the game. I don't know how much time they've spent on this game. I think I played the beta 2 years ago, but I could just be misremembering. But this game needs more attention. This is not going to be a complete playthrough, by the way. There's going to be plenty of things for you guys to do if you buy this game. And I implore you to do so. These guys did a fantastic job. One of the best games I've ever played this year, and one of the best games I've played of all time. And here's our, well, the main gameplay element, really, of the series, which is the laser, which lets you cut up the environment in any way you choose. Right now, I should be able to push this, but you'll see it's still anchored to the ground. And that's the problem. So we'll just cut that, and you'll see it pops right loose. Now we can push that by hand, or we can pull it with our claw. The claw is usually safer, folks. That's why I used it. And of course, if we want to, we can cancel our cuts halfway, just in case. The cutting's a little different in this game too, compared to the beta. In the beta, you could just cut everything in front of you with abandon. This one, they've nerfed it a little, just so you don't screw yourself over too much. I say nerfed in a good way. And now for the new gameplay element, the rocket. We use this with our middle mouse button. It just lets us push around things. The rocket is incredibly violent at times. I can't really display it here, but as we go through this game, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, Lethal, don't fuck this up. Up. And up. And up. Up. We made it! Yes! And you'll notice we're collecting underpants. Well, that's because this game is, There's a pair of underpants that grants you telekinetic abilities and more. And that is what we are trying to steal back from Big. I'm not exactly sure what his relation to Tiny is, honestly. I'm not sure if they're brothers or cousins. They share the same grandpa, though, so it's got to be one of those two. They act like brothers. Now here's another interesting element. You'll notice there's no music, and it's just how the soundtrack is really implemented. Whenever you have the radio on your back, you have music. And right now we only have 2 songs. You'll see the radio's telling us about this right now. We can switch between our songs with the in key. So here's the music from the tutorial level, but we'll go back to this one. We got our claw back. And it's telling us to pull stuff. Why don't we do that, folks? Why not? Pull some of these head things around. Try not to kill ourselves. But really, I want to go up here so I can get the battery back for my laser beams. There we go. Genuine battery. And it wants us to cut the cactus. Why not? Can I cut that too and back there? Nope, not exactly. I like to cut them both, but you know what? I don't really care about the cactus. Now look at those little guys. And of course our radio wants us to crush these adorable little bastards. They do have some interesting teeth on them. And what's this up here, folks? Looks like a cassette. Some of you may not even know what a cassette is. But this is another portion of the soundtrack. So it's actually really impressive. I really like it. Very clever. Let's go ahead and cut down our rockets. Oh, are you kidding me? You're not kidding me, are you? Nope. We'll try not to get crushed. And yeah, we can rocket stuff if we want. Why not? What a great invention. Yes, it's quite amazing. Let's see. Nope. Where are you going? Don't crush me, please. And the ray is all, oh my god, that looks like an exit up there. Just in case you don't see it. Which you might not. There's a few ways we can do this. I haven't done it this way, so I'm going to do it this way this time. Although, can I cut both at once? I'm not sure. From this angle. It looks like it. Oh yeah. The laser is so satisfying. And see, that thing could weigh several tons. Not really a problem for Tiny here. He's a freaking man. That wasn't too bad. This is my 3rd playthrough, by the way. Uh-oh. And there's Big, finally. And he punts us over the cliff. So your first impression of him is he's sort of an asshole. But anyway, at the end of every level, we get one of these. It's kind of like Portal in this way, where there's a par number of things to do. In this game, it's cuts instead of portals. So on that level, if you wanted to stay under par, you'd only make 2 cuts. You could probably do it with only 1, honestly. And there is an achievement for that, but I don't care. But anyway, I'll see you in the next episode, folks. Whoops.